And Robyn Lawley joins us now. Great to have you here, Robyn. Thank you for being here. So, you've sort of got a long history of bucking trends, but I think most people want to start with, how are you a plus-size model?
Man, compare me to like a regular size model, and then you can probably see it. But I try to ditch the plus size term and just say I'm a model. You know, I'm proud of my size, and I'm 6'2" and a size US 12, and to me that's not plus size. That's just average normal size. But yeah,
I would call that hitting the genetic lottery.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. I'll take that.
So you decide to model. You make all these firsts, and you're living this successful modeling career, and then you get diagnosed with lupus when?
Just after my daughter was born, actually. So she's 3.5. So like probably 3 years ago.
And what were the signs of it?
Well, it takes so long to get diagnosed, but I was struggling to pick up things. I was struggling to walk and talk. And my family came over and took one look at me, and they were like, right, we have to take her to the hospital right away. In Australia, they took me back home. So, yeah, but it's so much more than you probably think lupus is. It's just so much more involved with your organs and your joints and your skin.
Right. Yeah. So, but you continued modeling.
Yeah, yep. I took a break from that too, like recovering childbirth as well as an effort in itself. Yep. But yeah, I took a little break and got better and felt better again, and then could control it. And then the seizure on the staircase was a really fluke accident.
What day was that? What day did that happen? Or when did that happen?
I have a terrible memory. It was actually a day that me and my partner had planned a date, ironically. This is new parents for you. And it was in the morning, and I remember the start of the staircase, and then I woke up to paramedics, and my daughter was beside me, and it was just so full on. I had no idea what was going on.
You had a seizure.
Mm-hmm.
Had you had seizures prior to that?
I've only had one before in my life, and it was only a year ago. So these are very new things for me to get used to, acclimatized to. So. And
like all mothers, your first thought is, thank God I wasn't holding her.
Yeah, that was my biggest fear, or driving a car or doing anything. I mean, you just don't know when it's coming, you don't know when it's happening. I took one step and I don't remember anything else, and this was like a huge staircase to fall down.
Well, that's the thing, is that, this can happen. We have a dear friend who this happened to, where he fell down the stairs and broke his neck. I mean, falling down the stairs can be very severe and serious. And yet you're a model, and you make your living off of your beautiful face, and so you had a lot to process, and that's where we're going to pick it up right after this break. And we're back now with model Robyn Lawley, who recently went public about a seizure she suffered because of her lupus. So, Robyn, when you see yourself for the first time, you go to the hospital, when you see yourself with all those cuts all over your face, your moneymaker, really, what did you feel?
Well, my first thought, I was so doped up on morphine, was like, oh, God, here we go. And then when I was sitting there for a few days, I was definitely at my lowest. Like, I sent that same photo that I posted to my sisters and was like, yo, I feel like death. I don't know. This is probably the lowest I've ever felt. I lost my front tooth. I went through my lip. I had like stitches all over my forehead here and there. And you just wake up to that. So you like, how did this happen? But
this just happened a couple of months ago?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, your recovery has been miraculous. You look amazing.
Thank you. Makeup.
Yeah. But that's one of the things, is you've decided not to, the scar up here, your Harry Potter scar.
Yeah. I can't get rid of it because it's a lightning bolt. Like, it's too
like
much.
Harry.
Yeah, exactly. I'm too much of a fan to get rid of it, and it's too much of a weird spot to have happen. And my nickname before the fall was actually Wizard already, so I had to keep it.
And now it's like your signature.
Yeah, exactly.
What about that? Because I read in your Instagram post that went viral, you wrote, "A part of me wants nothing to do with my scars. A part of me wants to embrace them." Mm-hmm. Explain that.
Well, I mean, today, I think people don't realize how much people work-wise they get done. Models and celebrities, and laser can actually get rid of this completely. But I have no desire. I feel like scars say a story and tell, who we are. And I've always, embraced my stretch marks and marks on my stomach and hips and body, and I felt like, why should I have to get rid of them? What's it appeasing to? Like, who's it going to appease? And I actually like it. Like I said, how often do you get a Harry Potter scar? So I'm going to.
I like it too. I have to say, it makes your face even more interesting.
Yeah.
The question is now, how can you live with lupus and worried about seizures, having had this happen with the daughter?
Yeah.
And on that, I want to bring in, we have an autoimmune physician with us, Dr. Susan Blum. I don't think a lot of people understood that lupus can be related to seizures, can lead to having to take daily anti-seizure medication, but that is a reality for some people.
That's definitely a reality for some people. It's not a common side effect of lupus, but it definitely is something that can happen. First, I want to say thank you to Robyn for bringing this very important topic out, autoimmunity. People don't realize how prevalent it is and what a big issue it is for so many people and how underdiagnosed it is. Many people don't even know that they have it. So thank you so much for going public with your story. There is so much that you can do other than take medication. And that's one of my missions also, is to get that word out, that you can, by using food, by healing your gut microbiome, by removing toxins, you can actually treat the root causes of autoimmunity and feel better.
Mm-hmm. So now, having put this out publicly, and here you are on national television talking about it, showing the scars, any regrets?
Any regrets? Well, hopefully not, because you only suffer twice when you live with regrets. But I'm adopting a much more plant-based diet, and any anti-inflammatory, because I do believe that food can heal a lot more than people think. So, as much food as I can eat, as much vegetables as I can eat, I will be eating. But yeah, I don't want people to feel guilty. Don't feel guilty for your lupus or your diagnosis, or don't feel guilty if you have cancer. I mean, I think take the guilt out of the equation. You're sick, let's get you better. That's the first thing.
All the best to you.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. We'll be right back.